Today I want to share with you guys details on a Subaru feature called Auto Vehicle Hold, or for short, AVH. This is an incredibly helpful feature that I think many people would like to use if they knew how to operate it. It's very simple, but it's just a matter of knowing that it exists. And for primarily on all of your new cars nowadays, this feature exists. It's just a matter of knowing how to turn it on and off and how it operates and what situations you would like to use it in. So we're going to talk about why you might like to use it. I'm also going to show you the ins and outs of how to operate it. And lastly, we're going to answer some commonly asked questions around this feature. If you're new to my channel and you'd like to stay up to date on all Subaru related topics, then consider clicking that subscribe button down below. And as always, if you have any questions, leave those down below and I'll do my best to answer them for you. First, I'm going to show you all how to turn this on and off, and we're going to use it in practice. But before we get to that, we do have to put our seatbelt on because the AVH will not work if that is not clicked into place. So on the large touchscreen display like this is the 11.6-inch display that is in about 99% of your new Subarus today. You will click on this and turn it on and off just like that. Now, if you were in an older style Subaru that has AVH, you should see it down here near the shift lever. It'll say AVH, it'll just be a physical button instead. Now that it is on, we're gonna put the car in gear and we are going to take off. We're gonna just drive out ahead here, and we'll see what happens when we come to a complete stop. So let's just pretend that we're coming up here to a red light or a stop sign. Put your foot firmly on the brake to come to a complete stop, and you see that flashing up on the dash. Now you can let your foot off the brake. You don't have to have it on the brake. And the benefit to this is that if you're at a really long red light or you're waiting in stop and go traffic, you can just relax your foot. You don't have to have your foot cramping up on the brake pedal, and the car's still in drive. So as soon as traffic moves ahead or if that light changes quickly, all you have to do is tap your brake pedal or tap the gas and the brake will automatically release. The alternative, if you aren't using AVH, let's go ahead and turn it off. When you come to a complete stop, of course, just like in any other car that doesn't have this feature, you would have to put the car in park before you can release your foot off the brake safely. So that is the benefit there. It just gives you the ability to relax your foot and to be able to stop and go really quick without having to worry about the guy behind you honking their horn at you whenever you take a little too long to take off. If you're using Auto Vehicle Hold in one of the older Subarus with the smaller display and your AVH is down here, you tap on it to turn it on. You will see AVH over here turned on, and whenever you are driving and you come to a complete stop, when you see that full circle just below AVH, that's how you know you can release your foot off the brake safely without the vehicle moving forward. If you come to use AVH in your daily commute like I do, you're going to want to be aware of something important. Whenever you turn this on, if you turn your car off and restart it, if you turn it back on, the AVH will default off. Now this does this in all of the Subarus with the exception of the Subaru Ascent. So with the Subaru Ascent, your AVH is located in the same spot, but whenever you turn the car off and you turn it right back on, you will notice that your AVH is still turned on. So it defaults to the last settings, unlike our other Subaru models. And the only difference that I can think of here is that the Ascent is our only model currently that doesn't have the auto start stop setting right next to it. So not sure exactly why that would matter, but that's the only thing that I noticed that is different between the different models. Auto Vehicle Hold is not on every Subaru model. This first came out, I believe, in 2018, but it's not available on every single trim level. And as of 2024, this is available on almost every Subaru model we have, with the exception of the BRZ and your manual transmission WRXs. Auto Vehicle Hold is even on the base trim Impreza. To use Auto Vehicle Hold in any of your base trim Subarus in 2024, you are going to have this dual display just like we see here. And you'll notice that Auto Vehicle Hold is not down here next to your auto start stop. Instead, it's hidden on this second screen and you can activate it there just like that. This works just the same as our other vehicles that I've shown you, except the location of the on switch is different. Of course, if you are looking to purchase a specific Subaru and you're curious about whether or not it has this feature, comment down below and I'll answer that for you. A common question I get asked is whether or not your brake lights will work whenever AVH is active. And the answer is yes. This will work just like it normally would if you were physically applying the brakes to your brake pedal and holding that during a stop. So your brake lights do not go out whenever this is active. Instead, they stay active just like they normally would, and they deactivate as soon as you tap the accelerator. People also wonder what happens if your AVH is active and you go to take your seatbelt off. Maybe you don't realize that you're not in park, you've been talking to somebody, you're distracted, you go to get out of your car. As soon as you take your seatbelt off, the emergency parking brake will activate there. You'll see it light up red on the dash, and then over here, your electronic parking brake switch will light up as well. If you're curious about how this works, there's some cool things. To manually deactivate this, of course, you'll need to put this back into park. You'll put your foot on the brake and tap down on that. And then something else really cool, if this is active, we'll go ahead and activate it again. So you lift up on it to activate it, put our seatbelt in place. Let's put it in gear. If you happen to forget that your parking brake is on, as long as your seatbelt is in place and you give it gas, that will automatically release. And that works whether you are in drive or reverse. Another thing I will show you all, if we are driving along here and you want to turn AVH on, maybe you forgot before you left home, you can tap it and turn it on while driving. You don't have to be at a complete stop to turn this on and off. And a question that I get asked often is, what happens with your auto start stop, the engine shutdown feature, if this is on? So we'll come to a complete stop here. And AVH is active, it's flashing, and you'll notice that the auto start stop screen pops up. This calculates how much fuel savings you have when your engine is shut down at a complete stop. And then you tap the brake or give it gas and it releases automatically. So this auto vehicle hold and the auto start stop system will work interchangeably with one another. They don't interfere with one another. If you are curious, by the way, about auto start stop, this engine shut off feature, and some myths and some details about it, feel free to click on the YouTube card above to the right where I talk in full detail on this technology. Auto vehicle hold is a really convenient feature to have. Cars have had it for many years now. Subaru's had it for many years, but people still don't know that it exists, or maybe they know it exists, but they're not comfortable with using it because they don't understand all the ins and outs. Well, hopefully today, this video has provided you with enough clarity to feel confident using this in your Subaru yourself. As always, if you still have questions, leave those down below. I hope you enjoy your day, and I'll see you in the next one.